one of those windows up there where the monk was actually seen. You able to make a noise? For nearly 100 years, people have been experiencing strange goings-on inside the grounds of the Thetford Priory, including apparitions of monks, strange unexplained noises, and even the manifestation of parts of the buildings that no longer stand. Originally founded in 1103 by Roger Bigod, a close associate of William the Conqueror, the monastery is one of the largest and most important in all of Norfolk. The priory was built in dedication to Our Lady, the Mother of Jesus. It's said that in the 13th century Mary the Virgin herself appeared to locals in a vision, requesting the construction of a lady chapel at the priory, making the site a magnet for pilgrims. In the 1500s, during the reign of King Henry VIII, the monastery became abandoned due to the dissolution of the monasteries. From this point onwards, the priory fell into disrepair, resulting in the state we see it in today.
Like many other abbeys and priories of a similar age, the buildings here have been reduced to eroded lumps of stone sticking out of the ground. Fortunately, some areas of the priory have been preserved a lot better, meaning that we get a much more accurate representation of what it would have looked like originally.
In more recent years, Thetford Priory has been the site of many strange occurrences, from sightings of ghostly monks to apparitions of demolished parts of the monastery. The first known reports of a haunting began back in 1937, when a group of visitors reported hearing the sound of what they believed to be monks chanting and reading in Latin. In 1992, a group of 4 university students were returning home one afternoon when they chose to walk through the grounds of the Thetford Priory. As they walked, they chatted and joked amongst themselves, but noticed how quiet and lonely the ruins of the Priory seemed to be, especially in the middle of summer. They split up and wandered around for a while before regrouping at the front near the main archway. All of a sudden, the 4 friends got the feeling of being watched and turned around to see a figure of a person looking down at them from a top floor window. Shocked, they watched as the figure turned and walked away across the stairway where it stood and looked at them. The friends, who all thought that what they'd seen was a joker trying to play a trick on them, went to investigate. They ran into the doorway, by which time the figure had retreated back up the flight of stairs. One shouted, "Let's get him!" and they charged at the staircase, only to fall down on top of one another. There was no staircase, and more importantly, the figure they had seen could not have been real. The students ran out of the priory and back to their car out of sheer fear and terror at what they had seen. Since the experience, all 4 men have gone on to become scientists of some form or another, and none of them can be explained what they experienced here at the Priory. After the event, they all wrote down what they experienced on a piece of paper and shared with one another what they saw. They noticed that although some details differ slightly, for example the clothes the apparition was wearing, the majority of the story stays the same, adding even more validity to this claim. On the edge of Thetford Forest lies a very strange and rare late medieval building, the Warren Lodge. Constructed in the 13th century on order of the Thetford Priory, the Warren Lodge was designed as a place that Warreners, people who were employed to catch live game, usually rabbits, were able to shelter and rest. They could also store their catches here to keep them away from scavenging animals such as foxes, but more importantly, out of the reach of rival poachers. There are two paranormal stories attached to the Warren Lodge, the first of which includes a phantom white rabbit with glowing red eyes. It's said, should you see this rabbit, you will die within the next 24 hours. Now it sounds to me a lot like this story may be constructed to keep rival poachers away from the lodge as means of scaring them away. The second story, which is a little bit more sinister, includes the Faceless man. There's been plenty of people that have come to the lodge here and they said they've seen someone here with no features whatsoever on his face. They also get a very negative feeling when being around him, so hopefully we might even come into contact with him when we investigate it. Due to extremely bad weather conditions, we were forced to cut the investigation short, and I returned at a later date to carry on. So as you can see, we've returned to the Priory today. Much better weather, although it is very windy at the moment, which can make a problem with audio recordings, EVP and stuff like that, so we're going to have to find quite sheltered areas to investigate in. I did try and contact the Priory to investigate here at night and get access here at night, but they wanted us to pay an extortionate amount of money and have a meeting with them as well, so obviously that's completely out of our price range and what we were able to do. So we're going to have to come here in the daytime to investigate. Which isn't the end of the world. I've done it before, and I believe just as much activity can happen in the daytime as well as night. So we're going to get going. It's only me here at the moment. When we do our investigation at the Warren Lodge, Sophie, Nick and Mitchell will join me there, but for now it's just me on my own at the Thetford Priory. Bring your energy around it. Any monks with me? Can you show yourself to me? You able to speak into this? And tell me your name? You did say something then. Can you please say it again, but much clearer? So, not felt anything around here yet, not captured any EVPs or any EMF readings. Like I say, I'm kind of restrained to stay in here because of how windy it is out. You'll just hear wind if I was to go out anywhere else. So I'm kind of restrained to places where there's still four walls standing. But I'll stay for a little bit longer, hopefully we'll get something. So there's one of those windows up there where the monk was actually seen. You able to show yourself in one of the windows? Nothing. Try a bit of EMF. Make the lights flash on here. Touch it, or bring your energy around it. Nothing there. So still nothing at all has happened here. Not felt anything, not seen anything, not heard anything. Just completely normal. And I do get the impression that the monks that are seen here, I get the impression it's possible that they're actually residual hauntings rather than intelligent hauntings. The fact people have heard chanting and things such as that does indicate to me it's more likely to be residual. But it doesn't mean there isn't some kind of energy here or spirit here that is able to communicate and is intelligent. But if they are here, then they're not in the mood today, obviously. So we've just arrived at the Warren Lodge. We've had a brief walk around and not really felt anything all that strange or any weird feelings around here. Since we last came, we have learned that there was possibly a leper colony in this sort of area. So it'd be interesting tonight if we see anything relating to that. Anything else you guys want to add before we go?
It doesn't feel like there's anything here, do you know what I mean? Like it feels really calm and...
Yeah, it's quite empty at the moment, isn't it? It's every sort of feeling. But yeah, we'll get the investigation going and hopefully we'll catch something. Hello, my name's Luke.
My name's Sophie.
My name's Mitchell.
We've just come here today to try and talk to you and see if there's anybody around the Warren Lodge who'd like to come and talk to us. I've set up numerous sort of little devices, little boxes around the area, and I wonder if you could maybe come and use any of these to possibly communicate with us in some way. If you move something in front of one of these two white boxes, there's a box on a windowsill over there that you could come over and tap, and that should let us know you're here. If you want us to go at any point, you've just got to let us know. We'll leave you in peace. This little device I've got holding in my hand now, you able to come over to this, touch it or bring your energy around it? See if I can go in here maybe. Is there anybody in here? You able to make a noise? Maybe throw a stone? Again, just being in there doesn't feel strange. No, it doesn't feel strange or anything around here. I don't know about any of you, but...
No.
It's quite quiet.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like nothing much to talk at the minute.
No, it doesn't even feel like there's any kind of presence here. We get sometimes, we go to some places, you can just feel like an atmosphere. It just feels very kind of thin here.
Yeah, from the beginning there's not really been any feeling of someone's here or...
No, not really.
Should we go for a little walk round the back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The atmosphere at the Warren Lodge at this point in the night was very quiet, so we decided to do an EVP session to see if that would stir up any activity. Is there anyone around here that likes to talk?
Could you tell us your name?
I have to go through the window at the back and see if we can sort of feed this through.
yeah.
What's that?
What?
Nick? Oh, yeah.
I thought you saw an apparition.
No, I thought I heard footsteps in there. What I believed to be footsteps coming from inside the Warren Lodge was actually Nick round the other side standing in the porch. Although this wasn't paranormal, I can only say it's probably the scariest thing that happened to me that night.
Bloody hell, Nick.
No, I thought I heard footsteps in there, but it was you. Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll put this on the actual windowsill and put it on, like, put it down so there's no vibration that will cause any sound.
Yeah.
That little box we just put on the windowsill there, you able to come and talk into it? You tell us your name? What was this building used to be used for? That little box we just put on the windowsill there, you able to come and talk into it? You tell us your name? What was this building used to be used for? Nothing there yet.
Nothing in there.
Are you alright with us being here, or would you like us to go? Nothing. And is anyone feeling anything around here?
No.
Not at all.
No, so I mean, it feels quite
Very quiet.
very quiet, empty and peaceful.
I mean, last time we came, we had more of a feeling. But now we've come back, it's just no feel to it at all.
Who is it, the people that's in here that is called the Faceless Man? You able to talk to us? You anything to do with the leper colony that was here? Unfortunately, both locations we visited in Thetford provided us with no activity, so we decided to end the investigations. But who knows, we may return one day, and maybe even be able to pick up and even see some of the ghosts that said to haunt Thetford.